All right, let's get started here. Welcome to Webinar Wednesday, something Brilliant Directories loves to do for you guys out there. I'm Jason there on the left. We're also joined today by Gabe and Patrick as well from the customization experts. So thanks for joining us, guys.
Always happy to be here.
Always nice to join these webinars.
Gabe is our secret ninja that works behind the scenes. If you guys are chatting in questions while we're answering a live question, Gabe will do his best to answer your questions through the chat window. So thank you, Gabe, for joining us on the webinars. Patrick is also from the customization experts. They are, in my opinion, the leading company that build tools and extensions to accompany your Brilliant Directories website. And we have some cool things to show you today from them as well. If this is your first Webinar Wednesday with us, welcome. It's really great to be with you guys here today. The goal of Webinar Wednesday is to help you guys as much as we can, the best that we can. And it's a two-way street. We learn a lot from you guys as well. You can ask any type of question in Webinar Wednesday about your Brilliant Directories website. You can ask questions about publishing content, making design edits. We can even talk about SEO strategy, how to streamline your member sign-up process, and more. All questions are fair game. If we can't answer your question, we'll do our best to provide you with a resource that will point you in the right direction. So thanks for joining us. Have your questions ready. We're going to get to them in just a few moments. All right. Right now, we need everyone to stop what you're doing. Take your hand off the mouse, off the keyboard, and take a look at the screen in front of you. Normally, at this point in the webinar, we always try to plug our LinkedIn marketing group, which is a fantastic group. But we've got a lot of feedback from people, and people have been asking for a Facebook group. It seems that Facebook might be more accessible for people. So just yesterday, we've started a Facebook group, and we want to invite everyone here in the webinar to go and join our Facebook group. It's going to be a place where we can continue the webinar conversations. If you have questions there, we can answer them. You can start discussions there. I think we'll be able to provide more real-time assistance in the Facebook group. So you can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. You guys can go there right now. We'll wait just a moment. Make sure you're logged into your Facebook account, and I'll go there with you. And you'll be taken to a page just like this. And I don't have it because I'm already joined, but you should have a joined button here. I already see people's names popping up here. That's awesome. So go ahead and join the group. This is an area where we're going to put more focus on helping to answer your questions. We'll still continue to manage the LinkedIn group. There's a lot of great activity there. But I'm pretty positive we're going to get more traction and be able to help more people here with the Facebook group. So you guys can go ahead and join. We'll make sure we approve everyone after the webinar. And yeah, this will be a new place where we can connect and talk and try to help each other with your websites. Oh, and I bet you guys could have guessed what the contest of the week was going to be. It was to join our new Facebook group. So you guys can join the new Facebook group. We're going to select a new member, someone who's joined in the next webinar, and you'll receive, I believe I spelled receive incorrectly there. Did I spell that wrong, Pat, at the bottom? I before E, except after C. That's okay. The winner.
I think
the winner.
I think it's misspelled.
The winner's not going to care about if that's misspelled or not. The winner's going to care about their free Power website plan that they're going to get added to their account. It's a $950 value. We'll select a new member from the group in the next webinar to be the winner. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. Go and do it now before we dive into the webinar and before you forget. And we'll select a new member in the next webinar, and your prize will be a free Power website plan.
And it was spelled correctly. Congratulations, Jason.
It is spelled
Hooray.
correctly?
Yes.
What about I before E except after C rule? Sometimes. It's a sometimes rule. Okay. Okay, so go ahead, guys. brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. I really look forward to seeing you guys on there. More good stuff. We love to get your participation in the webinars and help you guys as much as possible. So we want to do something new on this webinar that we'll cover in the next webinar. Pat, why don't you take it away and explain what this is? This is something we might start doing regularly if it turns out that it's a nice addition to the webinar Wednesdays. So this is Showcase My Website. And Pat, why don't you tell us a little bit about what this is?
Yes, so oftentimes we have people asking us to go over their websites in the chat saying, hey, here's my site. Could you guys spend a few minutes to go over it? Gabe is the one that usually answers questions in there. Sometimes we do take questions. We do impromptu website audits. We actually love to do that. I think it's my favorite thing to do on Webinar Wednesdays. However, what we want to do is we want to make it a little bit more formal. I'm sure Jason and I will be able to prepare some really good stuff if you can submit your website in advance. We'd love to know what challenges you're facing and where specifically you'd like us to provide feedback on. What we're going to do at that point is we're going to choose one submission. And during the next webinar, we're going to showcase that website. And we're going to go over and provide you some real-time feedback on your website, some recommendations, some areas to improve, and particularly in the areas you want us to focus on. So I'm really looking forward to that sort of structure. And then, of course, once we've completed that, we'll go ahead and share it on our Facebook page and give your business a little boost and promotion.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys can email your website to events@brilliantdirectories.com. That will come to our social team basically, and we'll select a website at random that we think would be a good candidate to showcase in the next webinar. And it'll be great to review that. I think everyone will learn a lot from that entire process. All right, every webinar we like to cover maybe some new features, how to do something, the importance of something, strategies, best practices. In this one, we want to show you a little bit of a hack with Brilliant Directories, a little bit of a workaround. And it kind of ties into the whole Facebook theme in this webinar, and I'll just dive here. So if you notice on Facebook, on your personal page, your group pages, your company page, you can add a I guess they call it a profile cover photo, and it shows above your profile when people visit your page. So with Brilliant Directories, by default, a member can only add a logo or a profile photo. What I'm going to do is show you how you can convert the logo upload field into an image profile cover background. Did I explain that right, Pat?
You did.
Okay.
And I think seeing it'll make it a little easier as well to understand.
Seeing it would make it a little easier. So basically what we're going to do is, this is our interior design demo site. This is a sample profile, someone named Stacy. Right now she just has a profile photo. What we're going to do is enable her to upload a logo, but we're going to change the text. Instead of saying logo, it's going to say cover photo. And I'm going to show you what you guys need to do to make the changes. There's 6 steps. This is recorded, so if you don't catch one of the steps right now, don't worry about it. You can catch it in one of the replays. And also Gabe, he did a brief summary of what the steps are, so you can also reference those too. So the first thing we want to do is log in to the admin area of our site. And I made myself a little cheat sheet here as well for the steps. So one of the first things we want to do is, there's an advanced setting, member logo is backup. Pat, if you want to set that to 0, Pat, you want to explain what this advanced setting does and why it needs to be set to 0? Or is that not too important?
Sure thing. No, I can explain that. It is an important setting for a lot of people listening here. Essentially, if there's 2 settings, you can either list as an individual or as a company. When that is set to 0, if I am listed as a company and I do not upload a logo and I only upload a profile photo, then nothing will appear. When you set that to 1, basically you're guaranteeing, regardless of them being an individual or a company, if they upload either a logo or a profile photo, it's going to show up on the front end. So I really like turning that to 1 if you're using it as a regular, just in its regular functionality.
Right. It's basically, if you're, I guess, like I'm going to say it just so I understand it better. If you're a company and you don't upload a profile photo, it's going to use your logo as your profile photo. Is that, or is it the other way around?
It's the other way around, correct? Because if you're exactly.
If you're not a company and you only upload a profile photo, it's going to use the the logo as your profile photo to represent you as an individual.
Correct. Instead of showing nothing.
Gotcha. So we can get into more detail. Just make sure this is set to 0 and save your changes in your advanced setting. Step 2, update your image settings. So in your image settings, in your developer tab here, just let this finish saving. There's an image settings area. And basically you can set the default sizes for different types of images so they get resized properly on your website, so you don't have extremely large images loading on your web pages and your search results, etc. So one of them is the profile logo size. And what we want to do is we want to increase that. So I'm going to edit the group settings for the profile logo size. And just move this out of the way. You guys can't see this, it's my control panel. And you want to set this to 1170 by 200. And that's going to be the maximum width that you can have for a profile cover photo. So it'll take the entire width of the page as far as what the website is boxed in as, and then the height will be 200 pixels tall. I don't recommend going bigger than that. It'll just take up too much height on the page. But this is just a workaround. You can customize it more if you want. So I'm going to save those changes. So that's a check. The next thing, number 3, is make sure your members can add a logo. So let me log in as Stacy here. I'm going to edit the listing, and I'm going to go to profile photo, and she can upload a profile logo. Now, a good way to check if she wasn't able to, let me show you guys where you can turn that on and off. It's nice to know anyways. So let me find her here. So here she is, and you can, a quick way to edit the different membership levels, you can always go to the Manage Products section in the Finance tab, but you can also just click on what the membership level of this particular person is. She's a premium member. And under the Profile tab in all these wonderful membership level settings, at the bottom, enable profile photo upload or enable logo upload. So you can set this to yes or no. In this case, we want to set both of them to yes. So that's checked off. Next thing, change the text labels for uploading a logo. Your members, right now, Stacy thinks that she's going to upload a profile logo. So we want to change this text, and I want to see if our new front end text editor works on pages like this. It's still in beta mode, but we have something called show text labels, and it pretty much shows you everything you need. So we can change this as profile logo, and what I'm going to do is search for that here. I guess we could add a quick search there too, that would be nice. So here's profile logo. And I'm going to change this. I'm going to be a little more descriptive. I'm going to say upload cover photo. And maybe I'm going to go, let's see if it will accept this. Preferred size, I'm going to put 1170 by 200, just to give the member a thing. So everything that says logo, I'm going to change to cover photo. And you'll see what this does in a second, guys. Default logo, I'm just going to cover photo, upload cover photo. We should be done. Choose cover photo. So if you ever need to translate your site, you might need to go through a bottle of wine, but you can get through all the different words that you need to edit on your site really quickly with a tool like this. So let me now remove the text labels here. Okay, so now it says upload cover photo, and it says preferred size 1170 by 200. You guys can get more clever how you want to do that on your site. So now I can upload a cover photo. Make sure, yep, okay. So let's upload the cover photo. And over here it says choose cover photo now. So I have one here with our Brilliant Directories logo. And I'm going to upload the cover photo. Now, if I go to her profile, this still won't work. I have to now add a little bit of, this is the workaround. Everything now has just been settings. This is the workaround to get it working on her profile page. What you want to do is you want to go to your content tab and go to SEO templates. That's fine. And the very first one, the template for the profile pages, you want to edit this one, template 100. And this is a template that affects all your member profile pages. And what you can do is you can come down, and I've already added this here, so let me remove it. The custom page CSS level, you want to add this complicated code here. Basically what this is it's saying if the member has a profile logo, apply these design rules. And it's going to use the logo as a background image. Gabe has provided a link where you can copy this snippet of code to the page, and I'm going to save it now. And now once you've saved that, if I go to Stacy's profile page, we now see that she has a cover photo up here. Now just to show you how this works, if I remove the cover photo, okay, and I go to her profile page again, it's gone. So it only works when the member uploads cover photo. And we've given them all the right signals to let them know this is not for logo, this is for a cover photo. So if we go back here, there is one final thing. Because there's this whole issue of if the member is listed as a company or an individual. So if you can see here, it says list in the contact details tab. We've all seen this. Does the listing represent a company or an individual? The reason this setting even exists is, let's say this company represented a company. Even though Stacy is managing the profile, we don't want Stacy's name to show on the public side of the website. We just want to show the company name. She's almost just like the account manager. But if it's an individual, then they do want their first and last name to show on the site. And there are some rules around that also affect how the logo and the profile images display on the website. So Pat, do you want to just kind of discuss a little bit of if they are using these settings, that this might not be the best option for them to get the background image?
That's right. If you have a mixture of companies and individuals, or if you have members that have already selected these settings, you may want to look at a different option. We actually built a product specifically to handle those sorts of cases. This is a really, really good workaround. If everybody on your website's an individual, it's going to work great, what Jason showed. But if you need a little bit more flexibility, we did design a tool for that.
Yeah, so yeah, and that's what I kind of want to show right now is that tool. If I can pass the screen, do you have a sample you could show us, Pat, of how that works?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead. Pass that along.
Okay, great. I love workarounds like the one I just showed you. Just, it does require a little bit of knowledge, but it's really cool that you can do stuff like that. So let me pass the controls to you, Pat.
Yeah, Brilliant Directories is extremely flexible in terms of being able to allow you to make workarounds like that. We do workarounds all the time using the platform. All right, so are you able to see my screen here?
Yep, I got the DJ Customize in the house.
There you go. Fantastic, fantastic. So, so we built something very similar, except it gives you a little bit more flexibility. It's called the profile cover. It's one of the products that we created specifically for the Brilliant Directories platform. This request would come up quite a bit, the ability to add a profile cover. So the way it works is there's a custom admin module that exists that allows you to basically control which subscription settings are able to have a profile cover. So we have some people that make this like an add-on for their members. So if you're a premium member, you can have a cover on your profile. If you're a free member, you can't. So this is where you're able to select which tiers are going to be able to have those particular covers on their profile pages. You're also able to control the width here, similar to what Jason just showed, except you're able to customize it from here. So it just facilitates that step. You don't need to go anywhere else to do that. Also, So you have 3 display options. You can do the main content width, which is the one we looked at. You could do the whole content width, which just shows you what that looks like, or you can go the entire width. So this kind of gives you an idea of what you'll be looking at. We'll change it to the whole window width just to show you the difference. And then you're able to choose whether or not you want the breadcrumbs to appear on that cover. So some people really like to have the breadcrumbs, good for SEO. Some people prefer that for it not to take away from the breadcrumbs. And if you do allow the breadcrumbs, then you can choose whether or not you want them to be on the left or on the right of the profile cover. So it's nice to have those options. We're going to go ahead and hide the breadcrumbs right now. And we're going to save those display settings. And then you're also able to choose whether or not you want to display the entire image or if you want to stretch it to fill the box. We always recommend stretching the image to fill the box. That just means it's going to zoom in. That's how it works on Facebook. That's how it works on all the social media platforms. They always use stretch to fill the box just so that it always looks the right way. So we went ahead and we changed that profile cover setting. So let's refresh what that looks like. So now we have that full width, left to right, completely filling out the entire space of that profile cover. We don't have any breadcrumbs. This specific membership tier can upload that cover. And since it is a cover, it's a feature on its own, they can still have the functionality of having a profile logo and a profile photo.
That's what I really like. Ours is kind of like a workaround where you repurpose the logo. Yours is a dedicated cover photo option with the settings in the admin to boot.
That's correct. That's correct. So it's 100% dedicated feature to the cover photo, and we try to make it really easy without needing any coding, so that you can kind of get the design that's going to fit your particular niche.
Cool, cool. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Pat.
All right, my pleasure. My pleasure.
It's a really fun way to just add a personal touch to any website. I think your members will appreciate it, and also the visitors. It adds more visual stimulation as you're browsing a site. So Pat, I know that you guys make these plugins and they cost money, but you wanted to plug something today, a special for the profile cover if people want this on their website. And let me ask you a question before that. So with this, it doesn't matter if the member has selected if they're a company or an individual. That whole nonsense is not an issue with this.
That's correct. So you could be a company, you can be an individual, you can be any sort of member. It'll adapt to that listing because it's not tied to those settings whatsoever.
Okay, great. So what's the special for the webinar attendees we have today?
So the regular price is a one-time payment of $250, and it's 50% off today. So that's $125 one-time payment for that plugin.
Okay, and it's a one-time payment.
That's correct. No recurring fees. You just pay it one time and you own it for life.
Okay, and that's a good value to add to your entire community for life to have a feature like that. So if you guys like that, you can either use the workaround I shared today, which might work for you if your site isn't fully developed yet with companies and individuals. But if it is a little more established, then this might be a nice addition to add for your members. And once you add something like this would be a great newsletter to email your members and say, hey, we've implemented a new feature on our website, and you can come add a profile cover photo. A great way to re-invite your members back to their profile pages with some positive news about your website. All right, let's get into the main event, the reason we're here, your questions and answers. All right, let's see who we got. Stephanie. How are you, Stephanie?
Good, how are you?
Excellent. Where are you calling in from?
I am in upstate New York.
All right. And thank you for joining us today. What's your question?
I was wondering, is there any way to limit the number of photos within a photo album, or as an alternative, limit the size of the photos in the album just so that one member doesn't use up a ton of storage space?
So with that, let me answer the second question first. In your image settings, you can set the maximum size. So even if they import a large image, it will automatically be resized to these dimensions. There's a thumbnail size and the actual size when you're viewing the photo gallery. I would recommend that they're set to these defaults, so you don't need to worry about that. With regard to let me see if Stacy, our sample member here. So when Stacy wants to upload photos, there is not a way to limit how many photos she adds to an album, but you can limit how many total albums she can add. So the albums are the individual things that are searchable, not the photos. So even if she added, I know that you want to limit, so they can't put more than, let's say, 20 photos in one album.
Right.
Pat, do you guys have a solution for that?
This would be for a photography site, so I feel like someone might come in
Let
and
me
upload
let me tell you something
a
about
lot of photos.
a photography site. This is Find a Muralist, and it's a site where muralists post their artwork, and they get leads. And this is on the Brilliant Directories platform. And the mural artists post their different projects. This site, I just want to show you, so the muralists post their different mural projects. This site ranks #1 for Find Muralist, and so right here is Find a Muralist. I think if you search local muralist, it comes up on page 1 here. It ranks really well. I know that you want to maybe limit what your members do, but allowing them to post lots of content is a good thing for your site. So to answer your question in short, there isn't a way to limit how many photos that go into one album, but you can limit how many individual albums that they can publish at one time.
Okay.
Okay, Pat, you guys had some kind of thing that limits posts? What was that related to?
Yeah, but again, it's not the photo album is that one type of post where you can upload multiple images. The post is an album in that instance.
Right. But yeah, my recommendation would be, there's other things you can do. I'm assuming you want to limit them so no one spams your site, and also you want to maybe make other membership levels look more appealing than the lower membership levels, correct?
Right. That was one idea I had.
There are a lot of, I think that first of all, if your site is a photo site, doing this profile photo cover would be great, because it's a very visual site. There are tons of settings for each product, and let me just give you an example here. When you're editing your products, under the additional settings, there are things like show website link, show phone number, show their social media links. So you can suppress information on the lower membership levels, and you can utilize that as a strategy for getting them to upgrade to your higher membership levels. Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for the question. All right, let's take one more question from Sarah. Sarah, if your mic's working, you will be our last question of the night.
Great, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. How can we help you today?
Perfect. Okay, I have a question on banner ads. And what I'm wondering is, I think of my site as having two different audiences, one, my members, and two, the users. And so I'm wondering if there is kind of an out-of-the-box way to have banner ads deployed to, for example, the back-end admin without them being deployed to the front-end general users. I'm thinking of ad placement, for example, the footer, the header, that kind of thing. Just because I don't want, for the general users who are coming to the site, I don't want the banner ads to compete with my member ads, essentially. But I'm wanting to advertise to the members while they're in the admin.
Yeah, let's take a look at your site. I'll show you some ways that you can do that.
Cool, thank you.
What's the name of your site?
It is Momentum Market, MOMEMTUMMARKET.co. Momentum Market.
I see what you did there.
You like that?
Site's looking great too.
All right, let's take a look at the site here. Okay, so let's log in as a member.
Okay.
Okay, can I just log in as pacifier?
Yep.
This is a by invitation, which is any one of these members are fine, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's log in. And when they log in, there is
Yeah, and for example, if you scroll up to the top real quick, you can see where I put in an Ebates banner. And so right now that appears back in the admin, right where you're looking, but it also appears on the front end. And in theory, I'm wanting to populate ads just this back end admin.
right. Okay. Where else would you want to put ads here?
Okay, so one place, if you scroll down.
In the sidebar here?
Yep, right there, there's a lot of real estate. And then as you go, and then also the footer.
Like down here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are my first two real obvious ones. Then when you go into like the contact details or profile images, there's even more real estate on the left-hand side where I could probably get 2 or 3 ads in.
I agree. I'm going to show you. So we have some default ad placement, but in your case, you're wanting to take it a step further, and you want to put ads in really custom places. So I'm going to just.
And I'm really wanting to hand pick the ads too, rather than just having Google serve them up. I'm wanting to pick, products that are relevant to small business owners and entrepreneurs. So I wanted to hard code them in.
Okay, let me show you the logic and the concept of how to do it, and then hopefully that'll put you on the right path to do it.
Okay, cool.
So especially with the dashboard is really nice because there is a widget called Bootstrap Theme Member Dashboard, and what I did is I used the Show Widgets functionality, and that kind of, you can see it boxes in the different sections, even your sidebar is boxed in here. So let's actually do the sidebar. This does require going into the code because we're putting elements in custom places of the code, basically exactly where you want them. So let me put, I'm going to customize the Bootstrap theme account sidebar. So again, this plays into the flexibility of the Brilliant Directories platform, because you don't need to always, but in events that you do have access to the source code. Now, what I want to do is I want to grab one of your banner ad images. Do you have a widget where you've put custom banner code, or should I just keep using that eBait one?
I think there is one in there called Sarah Banner. Which that is the Ebates one actually.
The Ebates one. All right, so let me grab this Ebates one here. Sarah Banner. Okay, see how helpful that tool is? All right, so let me grab this. I'm going to just paste this. I'm going to copy the code for this one, and I'm going to paste it into your account sidebar. Again, lots of complicated code here. I'm going to scroll down, and just before the sidebar closes, I'm going to put it, should be right here. I'm going to put your code in. Right.
Perfect. This is what I pictured in my head, but in the code, I didn't know how to make it happen.
Gotcha. So we want to make sure we're putting it in the right place. This is your widget that has your code. We used an example with the Amazon feed. So that's saved in your sidebar now. Let's refresh your website cache, just so we can see if we can get the updates a little quicker. And what we'll do is let's log in. Let's get rid of this here. And let's refresh this page. Oh, it looks like it's still refreshing the cache. Okay. Just go back here and resave this just for good measure. Okay, I really want to see that image here. There we go. So there it is right there. I can add a nice little touch here also. I could just center it. Obviously, you're going to put a more specific image there that's relevant. So this logic is you can basically edit the widgets, you have access to your source code, and then you can place items in different parts of your website. So if our default banner ad placements aren't enough, or you have ideas for new places, you do have the flexibility to do that. So here now, this is centered here as an example. And then you could use the same
Perfect.
logic for going around different areas and putting banner ads.
Wonderful. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Okay, great. I think that's a good last question there. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. If we did not get to your questions today, guess what? Everyone who hasn't done so yet, please join our Facebook group, brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. We can continue the webinar conversations there. I'm going to work to be more active in there. The LinkedIn group is still active, but I think we're going to get more traction in Facebook. Everyone who joins between now and the next webinar, we're going to choose a lucky winner. You're going to win a free Power website plan. It's a $950 value. So it could be you. Also, email us your website, events@brilliantdirectories.com. We will showcase your website in the next webinar, provide you with some free feedback, and also share your website on our Facebook page. Pat, you want to tell us a little bit about the promo offer for the profile cover?
Absolutely, Jason. So anybody who purchases the profile cover today will receive a 50% discount on the profile cover. That's a one-time payment for $125, normally $250.
All right, you can go to the customizationexperts.com/cover. It'll take you right to the page with more information and how you can check out and get that add-on for your site. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm Jason there on the left, Gabe was behind the scenes, and Patrick from the Customization Experts on the right. The next webinar will be in 2 weeks, so get your questions ready. We'll see you in the Facebook group, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.